Dan, it's been a really positive week in two cup competitions with two wins, lots of drama. How would you assess how the lads have got through those?
Yeah, I think the really pleasing thing is the strength of the squad that's come out of that week. Again, fantastic with regards to two positive results. But I think the biggest thing is that last week can be a real platform as we go into a challenging month ahead with a much stronger squad and a real competition for places.
Then, of course, it is a really good platform to build on, and you mentioned a strong squad there. Players are coming back from injuries. Demi Mitchell, for example, has made such a big impact in the two games he's performed in. I mean, how great is it to have even more players to select, really?
Yeah, it's a fantastic position for us to be in because, you know, to be honest, the competition within the squad is the thing that drives the standards the most on a day-to-day basis. And I think when you're under real pressure, what you get to see on a Saturday afternoon is the habits of the group. And I think the competition will drive the habits, will drive the behaviours. And I think the biggest credit to the players that are coming back from injury is obviously the work that they're doing in their rehab is setting them up to come back and hit the ground running, as Demi has shown. Vinny also got minutes in that game on Tuesday. Reece Cole coming back in and being able to start and play 50, 60 minutes on Saturday. So yeah, it's a fantastic place to be in and a really good platform to move forward.
And during those games, you've seen some of those players come back, such as Jay Bird as well. Part of your role is working with some of those developmental players and getting them more match ready for first team matches and things like that. How would you say someone like Jay has performed this week and since he's come back from his injury since he joined us? Yeah,
I think the biggest credit that you can give to Jay is that what he's done in those last two games, he's been doing for weeks on end in training. That's what gives you confidence. That's what gives you belief in stepping out onto those stages and being able to perform. And like I say, Jay's application in the way that he trains, the way that he goes about his business has been excellent, but so has so many of the other lads. And that's why, like we say, the most important part of our week is what we're doing from Monday to Friday so that we can perform on a Saturday, which is why it is vital that we have competition, which is vital that we train with a real intensity so that we hit the games and almost we've done our work and we know that we can step into those matches with confidence and belief.
It's also been a really positive week in terms of the youngest of players. I mean, particularly looking at Tuesday, players like Oaksy who came on, more first team minutes for them, that's only going to stand them in good stead.
Yeah, I think the brilliant thing that you're starting to see with the likes of Liam Oakes and also, you know, we sometimes forget about Jake Richards' age, it is actually the personality that they're starting to show in those games. It's really important that when they step out into those games, they show the personality that they would when they're in their own age group or when they're in training. And that's part of the development process that every player goes through. But yeah, great to see more minutes for them. Again, Ed James playing 90 minutes at the back against, you know, a real experienced centre forward in Chris Martin for the first half in particular. So yeah, lots of lessons for them to have learned, lots of experience for them to have gained. And yeah, overall, I would say that they come out of it with credit.
I think we'd had a frustrating two league games before the cup matches. The second half against Reading, Gary said, is as good as we've played all season. Then Huddersfield, a bit of a flatter game. I mean, these cup wins are only vital to sort of getting back into good form and, as we sort of said before, using them as a platform.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we always aim to learn from every game that we play, and that, you know, Saturday against Barnet was no different. You know, I asked you how you felt after the game, and you know, I think everyone needed a lie down after it. The first thing we'll always do is review a game and see where we can improve, and we did that after Reading, we did that after Huddersfield, and we've done that after the last two cup games. And I think the important aspect of experience from those games is actually the lessons that we learn, and we've taken plenty from those in terms of the behaviours, in terms of the habits that we need to see moving forwards. So that Saturday's game was not only a fantastic win, but it was also a fantastic lesson that again provides us with something to lean on in the future.
Looking at Saturday again, I think Barnet, 2 leagues below us, but I mean they gave us one hell of a game, performed excellently as well. I mean, how important was that performance from Barnet we can look at taking it into the next round of the Cup against Chesterfield, who are up the top of League Two?
Yeah, well, I think there's plenty to come between now and Chesterfield. So I think more importantly from the Barnet game, it's what can we take into the next game against Charlton? What can we take into the future games after that? I think the manager alluded to it after the game, is actually the behaviours when we're under pressure, the habits, the principles that we work towards are the foundation to all of our performances. And you know, even in the run where we were getting fantastic results and potentially not performing to our highest level, we had fantastic behaviours, fantastic habits, and that's what we're going to need again as we step into this next run of games. So I think the biggest thing that we took from Saturday in particular was the togetherness of the group, the ability to find a way to get a result when their backs were against the wall. You know, I absolutely loved the celebrations for Jay Bird's goal. Seeing the subs go down and celebrate with him shows a real togetherness, and having a group of players that are united and together with one aim, seeing them celebrate with the big bank, seeing a fan base again united with it, that's going to be the thing that drives us through these months where there's plenty of games, lots of challenges, a real demand from a high level league. We're going to need all those aspects.
Something I think the team have perhaps picked up on from previous experiences, not just this season but previous as well, is killing off games. I think we could have so easily got that fourth goal against Barnet, shut up shop, but we went on there, got the fifth goal just to really kill the game off.
Yeah, I think the changes that we made during the game were positive with that intention. And I think, again, one of the real positive aspects from Saturday was the way that the finishers came on and impacted the game. That gives you the ability to get yourself back in a game, that gives you the ability to stay in the game, and it gives you the ability to finish off a game. And that's exactly what we had to go through all three of those phases Saturday. And the finishers gave us a real platform to go and do that.
As you've referenced, a really difficult month coming up based on the league position of the teams we're facing. Certainly not fazed by them, but what will be your message to not just the players but also to the supporters ahead of the rest of the month?
I think it's an incredibly exciting month. I think what it does is it challenges you to be at your very best. It gives you a real clear indication of where your level actually is at the moment. And I think that, like I said with Jay Bird earlier, I think your training and your habits that you build on a day-to-day basis gives you real confidence and clarity going into those games, so that you know when you're under real pressured moments that you can rely on strong habits, strong foundations, strong behaviours that you've built upon week after week. So I'm really looking forward to it. I hope the fans are, I hope the players are, because I think it'll give us a real clear indication of where our level is.
Are you seeing that the levels rising in training, given that competition is now so strong?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're going to need it to continue to rise. Again, I think the manager said on Saturday that this week we would expect to see the highest levels we've had this season because of the group dynamic, because of the players that are back, and that is vital for us. That will be vital moving forward. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what the players' levels can reach. I'm excited to see how they come up against different opposition, and most importantly, I think I'm looking forward to seeing them really apply our identity into different games.